You probably already know about conventional commits, but what about conventional comments? When doing code reviews, it's often hard to pick the right wording to express our concerns, and it is so easy to get misunderstood. I found this page a few days ago and I immediately wanted to share that with you. So let's see the example. A comment like this one, "This is not worded correctly." It sounds a bit rude, but what about suggestion? "This is not worded correctly." It already defines that it is a suggestion, don't take it wrong. But also you can go the next level with nitpick, not blocking. "This is not worded correctly." This immediately gives you the feeling that it's not a blocker, it's not a big deal, but Caterpillar just wanted to say that there's a better wording for that specific variable or function or whatever it is. But you can do even better, and along with the suggestion and the message, you can also add an actionable comment. For example, can we change this to match the wording of the marketing page? Or for example, if you say that something is not worded correctly, you can also suggest a possible better wording so that it makes the conversation way easier and less picky. Here they also say that if you follow a specific format, it is parsable by a machine. It's cool, but I don't know how this is gonna be useful, but I mean, maybe in large projects, this might make sense. For example, here it says, it's a suggestion, let's avoid using this specific function, and here it says that if it's marked as deprecated, well, you're not supposed to use it. And also, if you add decorators here in parentheses, it is an issue, but it is about UX and it is not blocking. So here they also say, let's handle this in a follow-up. This is much better than a simple comment with "the button colors are wrong." Period. And in general, here it suggests that you can use conventional comments for basically any kind of review feedback process, which makes sense. And here they propose, basically if you use a consistent format, it is way easier to read as a person, and why not? It's also easier to read by a machine so that you can maybe group and parse many different issues all at once. For example, if you always label with suggestion, or if you always decorate with non-blocking or blocking, you can quickly get a grasp of how many blocking issues are there in your PRs. Maybe you can get an idea about the code quality or the code that is being delivered for review, and then you can make all the kind of reasoning you want to. So label, there should be a single label which signifies what kind of comment is being left, makes sense. Subject is the main message, because you also want to give a message, and you can optionally add a decorator. Also interesting if you want to add some stats on what are the comments, and discussion may be a line to explain an actionable possible suggestion, some more context on why you wrote that specific comment, making the review process way easier. One thing we should not forget is that in code reviews we're commenting the code, not the developer, and also it is a developer that is gonna read it, so even if it is asynchronous and you write the comment right above the code, don't forget that it is still kind of a human interaction and there are humans on the other side reading your comments. Back to our page, here it gives even more examples. For example, if you follow this specific format, well, this is super easy to be parsed and to be extracted for data analytics. They also come with a list of possible labels. I'm not gonna read all of them because you can just find them here at the website. But for example, there's praise. Also, don't forget to praise something positive. From time to time, leave a comment pointing out that that specific implementation is actually a good idea. It's cool for developers to find positive comments and not just suggestions or issues about their code. Here they also add, for example, to do or question. For example, if you have a question but it's most likely not blocking. So why did you implement it that way? And not because it is wrong, but because I want to know. And you can find a lot of possible specifications, but I don't feel I want to be too strict about that. As long as your team have a common convention, well, that's already more than enough. So here, if we keep scrolling, it again stresses on the importance of decorator because they give additional context for a comment. For example, like we said, You can add security, you can add test, or here I definitely like this one that is if minor. So basically I'm suggesting to change something, but only if it doesn't take too much time, which is more than reasonable and again avoids wasting too much time on little details which are not strictly required at that given moment. And again, they say that the decorators might be specific to organization. I would even say to each team, so that everything can basically decide their own convention, as long as they're just a simple tool enhancing the conversation, then they're good. If you find yourself struggling and wasting time because you had to pick the right label, then maybe it's not really helping that much. And here it goes with even more examples you might want to have a look. For example, nitpick, this should be named that way. Can we update also the other references? That's fine. And praise, beautiful test. You know, testing is hard and not all developers give enough importance to test. So if you find someone writing great tests that are easy to read, that are covering the edge cases, well, just give them a praise. In conclusion, there are also some best practices here that I recommend you reading, that for example, mentoring pays off exponentially. So instead of spreading hate in code reviews, if people mentor each other, you will see that the quality of the code will increase really fast. One more recommendation is to leave actionable comments. A thing I hate in code reviews is, as one of the example, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong, but if you only tell that, you're forcing the owner of the code to ask you a follow-up question. If you already know something that the owner of the code can do, leave an actionable comment. This is wrong, you should do that way. It's much better. One more advice is to combine similar comments. For example, if one forgot to set a field to private, do not add every single comment on every single field. Maybe you can just write one comment and say, do this, like set this field to private, and also do that on line 51, 79, and 132. And this dramatically reduces the number of comments. And you know, when you open a pull request and you find 25 comments where 15 are saying the exact same thing, it's not really funny. And then it suggests to replace you with we and should with could. Guys, we're a team. We're working on the same project and we all want a better code that works flawlessly and does not introduce new bugs. So let's fix this together. And this was conventional commit. Like I said, I found this a few days ago and I immediately wanted to record a video. So I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I talk about open source and web development basically every week. And that's it. Thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye!